This is a tutorial for how you can make a mod super quick, super easy with alternative textures. This tutorial is definitely going to be very friendly for beginners. You might know that alternative textures is a framework which enables a secondary texture variation for objects, buildings, and entities in Stardew Valley. So this is the framework that we're going to use. It's extremely easy, so I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do from start to finish to create your very own mod, and possibly your very first mod. Firstly, you're going to check out this in-depth wiki, which is linked within the Alternative Textures Nexus page for how to create an alternative textures mod. So we're going to start with creating a content pack. We're going to need a parent folder with the name of the mod. We'll have to create a manifest.json, which is very easy. We'll have one folder within the parent folder, and it's going to be titled textures. And then within this textures folder, we're going to have subfolders with the names of each object that we're going to have a texture for. And then within each of those subfolders, we're going to have a texture.json, which is very simple too, and then a texture.png, which is going to be the image of the asset that we're going to bring into the game. And that's it. So you have the name folder of your mod. This is like the main one. This is your parent folder. Within this folder, you'll have a manifest.json as well as a secondary folder called textures. Within textures, you're going to have subfolders for each item that you're going to have a texture for. And then within each of those subfolders, there's going to be at least 2 items. One will be the image of the texture that you're going to bring into the game, and one is going to be a short texture.json, which is going to explain to the game how large and what kind of an image your asset is. Very simple, and you can have as many subfolders with as many different items that you want in one pack too, which is really cool. So there's a lot more information here. We'll hop back and forth between here so I can show you some more things, but that's all we really need to know to get started. Now all you have to do is just decide on what you're going to bring into the game. And once you have your idea, then you're going to need to know more details about how large the image needs to be. So you can check out this website, spritersresource.com/StardewValley. And then you can find all of the images. So here's animals, monsters, environment stuff, maps, tile sets. So this is even like houses and stuff like that. And basically you can just open up one of these and you're gonna get the full PNG without having to do like XMB file unpacking. Like, this is just very simple for beginners. You can just grab the tile sheet from here, import this into your art app, and then draw over top of it or something like that. So I'll show you how I would go about it. So you can download this sheet right here, extremely easy. You don't have to sign up or anything like that. You can just save it, all good to go, and then you can send it to yourself and start editing it in an app or on a computer or however you want to go about it. So I have my image right here in my app now, and I'm ready to draw. But the only thing is, it's a little bit tiny at this point for me to do the pixels. The pixels aren't very clear, so it's kind of hard to see. So what I'm going to do is import this same image onto a smaller canvas. So let me show you that. I'm creating a smaller canvas, 160 pixels by 144, and I've imported the image of the farmhouse. As you can see, it's the full image, so I'm only just gonna make it so that I can see this one that I actually want to work with. Good, so now I can actually see each individual pixel very clear, so it's very easy for me to work like this. Luckily, I already created the image, so let me show you that. So here is my new farmhouse. This is the one that I'm gonna be importing into the game with alternative textures. So this is super cute. It's the only house that I have done that's part of this mod so far, so this is not quite ready to be released, but I'll still show you how I plan to bring this into the game with alternative textures. Now is the time I would recommend looking at an existing alternative textures mod so that you can really see what's going on in there. This is a mod I created for rugs, so it adds 49 different rugs. So you open up the folder and all you've got going on is the textures folder like we talked about and a manifest.json. I'll post a link with a great resource in the comments for you to follow along, but all you really have to do is come up with a name for your mod, your author's name that you go by, what version it is. If it's the first one, you just do 1.0.0. If you end up adding like a very small tweak, you can increase this number here. If it's more of like a medium-sized update, you can increase this number here, and then a large overhaul, you can change it to 2.0, 3.0. This description will pop up in SMAPy whenever it's loading the mod, so it's good to just describe quickly what the mod does. Your unique ID can really be anything, but it just has to be completely different from any other mod. So the way I do that is just doing my author's name followed by what the mod actually is. Because I can be quite positive that no other user has used orochifragu.cuterugsat before, so I think this is good and unique. And then the last thing to note is update keys. So the way that you get this number is actually on Nexus, so I'll show you that. So I started the upload of a new mod and I just did the very first page, so this is not published or anything yet. It doesn't have any kind of information. This is just the bare bones of beginning to do an upload for a mod so that I could start this page and get this number here. So this number within the URL is actually going to be your Nexus Update Key. So that's where this number actually comes from. This number will allow users who download your mod to know when there's an update, and then they'll be notified within the SMAPI system. Basically just copy and paste this, title it manifest.json, and then change the name, author, version, description, unique ID, and change the number for your update keys. And then that's it. This is very, very easy. All that's left to do is to see textures. So you'll create a folder called textures, open it up, and then you'll have subfolders for every item that you're gonna have a texture for. This is a rug mod, and it has 49 different rugs, and they're in 4 different sizes. The blossom rug is 6x4 tiles, funky rug is 5x4 tiles, large green rug is 4x3 tiles, and then light green rug is, I believe, 3x2 tiles. If you open up one of these folders, then you're going to see all of the different PNG images with the textures that you're going to be loading into the game. So for this blossom rug, I actually have 21 textures. Textures always begin with texture number 0, so texture_0.png, and it can go up to any amount of textures that you'd like to create for that one image. So the blossom rug is 6 tiles by 4 tiles size, so that is the size of each of these images, which converts to 96 pixels wide by 64 pixels tall. You want to make sure that you get the size right so that the image correlates correctly within the game. Remember that one tile is 16 by 16 pixels, so that's why 6 tiles wide is 96 pixels and 4 tiles tall is 64 pixels. And then this is the only other thing that you need to create an alternative textures mod, a texture.json file. Within here, it's super easy to see. We have the item name as it's referred to in vanilla Stardew, the type of item that it is, so it could be crop, furniture, building, and then the size of each of those images. So we already know that the blossom rug is 96 pixels wide and 64 pixels tall. You'll just input the image size of the item that you're going to be creating. And then you can just change the number of variations that you have. You can even just have one variation where it's just texture_0, and then it can be just one variation, or you can have 1,000 variations. You can have as many as you'd like. After each line, make sure you have a comma so that it continues searching the next line for information until you get to the very last one. Don't include a comma so that the game will know that you're done giving them information about this texture. So this is like really simple. You might be confused about the specific name that you need to title something, or the type of furniture that it actually is, or to find out the exact texture width and texture height. And to find that information, we have many different things that we can do. On the GitHub page for alternative textures, there's a lot of information. For example, I just scroll down and you can see this page for more details about the item name, and then this page here for more details about the type. Here's some name examples for buildings. The only thing that's a bit different is farmhouses, where it needs to be farmhouse underscore and then a number, because there's multiple versions of the farmhouse as you upgrade. We'll actually be seeing that in my example today, because that's the type of alternative textures mod that I'm going to be creating. So you can see information on character names. These are the supported characters that you can have alternative textures for. Craftables, crop items, decorations, flooring, really simple. And maybe you're still really confused on how to get the exact pixel height and width for your sprite. So another thing I'd recommend doing is just go on Nexus Mods, find someone else's alternative textures mod if they're doing a texture for the item that you want to also texture, and then you can just see the width and height that they used within their mod and just test it to make sure that it works well. For example, this mystery trailer here, well, first of all, how cute is this, huh? Really cute, very nostalgic. And this creator queen has an alternative textures version. which I've downloaded it and I'm extracting it now. And see, same thing, they have their manifest going on and a textures folder. This texture is for the stone cabin, so it's not the farmhouse, it's like one of the cabins that you can build on your house. And here under texture.json, we can see that the width is 240 and the texture height is 112. So now if I wanted to create a mod for the stone cabin, then I would just create an image that is 240 pixels wide and 112 pixels tall. And if you really want some help, what you can do is just copy an image from someone else's mod, send it to yourself, and import it into your art app so that you can see exactly how big your sprites need to be. Then you can just import an image into your own ArtStation. That way you can see exactly how large your sprites need to be. So I'm not talking copying any of this amazing artwork. I'm talking draw a line so that you know where your image can actually be, how large it needs to be. That way you don't need that first image and you can just know that, okay, your first sprite can be here, your second can be within these lines, and your third within these lines. If you're really not sure about the size that your sprites need to be, then certainly just find someone else's alternative textures mod that is made an alternative texture for the item that you're trying to find as well. Now it's time to make our own together. So this is going to be an alternative textures for my cute farmhouse. So just from my other mod, I'm going to copy over my manifest. So you can just copy and change a manifest, or you can write your own from scratch, but it does the exact same thing. You're just going to be writing this same text over. And this is what it's looking like. So we need a name. It's just going to be alternative textures cute farmhouse. Still by Orochi It's still version 1.0. My description is a cute alternative texture for your farmhouse. The unique ID will be orochifragu.cutefarmhouse80. I'll just change my update key to my new update key for this new mod on Nexus. To get this unpublished mod here, all I did was go to upload and upload mod. You fill out the first page of just choosing a name and giving basic details, and then you can exit out of it and it'll actually just save it as a mod that's in the creation process. And then it gives you this number right here. So in the URL, the last 5 numbers, this number is the Nexus mod ID to recognize your distinct mod from anyone else's mod. So I'll just paste it in there and that's basically done. Manifest is all done. So now all we have to worry about is the texture. I'll create a folder called textures. Within here, I'm actually going to be doing a folder called farmhouses. And then I can actually just create another subfolder. I'm just going to do farmhouse_0. Now, my drawing is actually for the final upgrade of the farmhouse. I just want to be able to jump into a world and use it right away. So I'm just going to set it to the first farmhouse just for this example. But the only thing that would change is changing the 0 to a 3. And then in here, we need 2 things. We need the image and we also need our texture.json. Using the methods I've said before, I've already created my texture. So I'm going to label it texture_0 because every time a texture will begin with 0, it's not 1, it's always 0. And as you can see, it's all set up ready to go. So it's 320 pixels wide by 144 pixels tall. I'm not sure why, but that is the height of every other house in alternative textures. So for example, Nano's countryside farm buildings, if you see their textures for farmhouse 0, it is 320 by 144. I'm not sure why. I don't know why it can't be smaller, but this is not the only one. All the other ones I've seen are that size, so that's why I also made mine that size. So it's really good to just search around, see other mods for context clues if you're not 100% sure why you're doing something. And honestly, in making mods, for me, if I don't understand why I'm doing something, I want to at least be able to produce the outcome that I'm looking for, and then I can understand after why I did something a certain way. So you might not understand why exactly you're setting it up the way that you are your very first time, but eventually you're gonna understand. And you can just uncover the meaning of what you're actually doing as you progress, but I don't feel like you have to know everything off the bat. I think that you just need to start making mods. Make your first mod, try it out, and then you can understand what you actually did as you keep on going. And it's actually great to make mistakes. You really learn so much through these mistakes. So now I'm just going to create a texture.json. Texture.json within the farmhouse_0. So right here, I'm gonna save it, good to go. And this is what I'm gonna do. Open bracket, item name, farmhouse_0, comma, type, it's a building. Then you have texture width and texture height, It's for some reason 320 by 144 for this one specifically. Other things like rugs and stuff, they're the exact tile size that you would expect them to be. A 6x4 tile rug is 6x4 width and height. I've seen that for all furniture, but these buildings are the very first time I've come across the texture width and height not actually being in alignment with the actual size of the sprite. So maybe me posting this video, someone will know the answer and they can let me know. For now, I just know that this is what I have to make it, so I'm just gonna accept that and keep on going. Oh, but we do need commas. And lastly, variations. There's just one texture_0, so that's it. No comma, and I'm gonna close it off with a curly bracket and save it. Can you believe that's it? That's our mod. That's how fast it can be for you to make your first mod. Yep, so that's it, and I'm just gonna load it up now and we're gonna see how it works in the game. I've got my paint bucket from Robin's, and let's see if this works. Nice, so clicking on the house and I see this secondary option, cute farmhouse AT. Wow, okay. Oh, it looks good. I'm really happy with this. Okay, let's see stairs. It's all, okay, it seems to be in the right position. Yes, the shadows are lining up. Wow. Oh, it's cute. But now seeing this, I see some potential for some more details. I think maybe something at these corners or something, but I am really liking this, and how awesome that we were able to just quickly import this into the game with alternative textures. Now, if I had all the other sprites done, this mod would be ready to be uploaded, but for right now, I just need to get back to the art grind, I guess. So cute. And once again, there are just so many different resources, like using Spriter's resource to get all the images that you're going to be editing. Also, once you have the images to edit, you can look at the pixel size so that you can know the sizes of each item, reading all the instructions within the GitHub for alternative textures. Oh, it's not loading. I'm having issues with that. And then I'll also just link the Stardew modding wiki where you can see more information about manifests and everything that has to do with modding. So everything that you need to know is within all these sheets. And if you have any specific questions, definitely just comment them down below and I'll get back to you right away, and I can help to the best of my ability as well. Now, if you want to know how to make a mod with Content Patcher, then I can do that video next. Now, if you made a mod using this tutorial, leave it in the comments and let me know, and I'd love to check it out.